All right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
Here we go, our first NBA game. This is something I've been waiting for my entire life. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But I know this is where I belong. So I just gotta get out there and do what I was born to do. I hope I can make my family proud.
A wonderfully symmetrical skyline you have to love downtown Detroit. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. The fans here in Detroit ready to cheer on their Pistons in this interconference matchup. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. Long dream, a special individual taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from James.
Yeah, and whether he has friends and family in the crowd tonight or watching at home, I know a lot of people are proud of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just...
And what a feeling it's got to be for this young player is that last bucket represents the first official score in the NBA from James.
You know, you got to be happy for him. I mean, that's a great way to open up his NBA scoring account.
Well, everybody is happy to see him put the first points of his career on the board. Coaches, fans, teammates, everybody.
And guys, Brandon Jennings last season looked like he was finally becoming more efficient. He shot at the upper range of his career field goal percentage from 3 and the free throw line. And then suddenly the Achilles ended his season at 41 games played. Really unfortunate.
Getting back to Jennings last season really did start out as one of his best. Not just the improvement, Clark, in accuracy. His turnovers per game were at a career low.
Yeah, that's what we have to watch out for with Jennings. I mean, he's still only 26 years old, Kevin. Now, plenty of time to continue to refine and hone his game. I think his best basketball is in front of him.
We've got 1:23 left in the first. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lulls.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match. That's an example there, guys, of contesting the shot and corralling the board. That's really all you can ask of a guy at that end of the floor.
From the arc, that's in coming off an assist from Johnson. Jennings has got 5.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons' season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
Good.
You know, I don't think it's ever too late to make a sweet dime. I mean, even if you're halfway through your shot, you might find a better one for a teammate.
The Pistons trailing. There's 42 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Caldwell Pope. Offensive rebound. Baines. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And looking back last season, how about 87% from the line? So that's obviously nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, that's a great asset to have, guys, for any team. Coming down the stretch in close games, you got a guy who's confident and very good at the line. When he steps up there, you feel good about it.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Exum kicks to Booker. And stolen by Jennings. Oh, and here comes Johnson all alone. Throws down the breakaway jam.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a one-footer. Come on now.
Exum dishes to James. And it's off from three-point range. Here's Jennings. 20 points for him last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And also give credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
Hood. Shot is off. No shortage of score. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't.
So Detroit ends up going with the new group. A different look for Utah. Pistons leading by 6. Taking a look at the Jazz. Exum and Hood are the young guard tandem. Miles out there with Trevor Booker. And it's James in at the 3 slot. Johnson a wide open look. And it's off from three-point range. The Jazz shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. And it's James missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
They set the pick. 0-1 near Jennings as he lets it fly. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
That one's in there. The Detroit lead is cut back down again to 6 with the basket from James. Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
Just 5 to shoot. Deep 2 from Jennings. That's short off the rim. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
Brandon Jennings is big.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. Here's Exum in the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Jennings and Caldwell Pope in the backcourt. Johnson is out there with Anthony Tolliver. And it's Baines in at the pivot spot manning the middle. That's the group for Detroit right now. And the shot is good.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued. A lot of NBA teams have been outright buying developmental league teams. I mean, the Jazz did that last season. They purchased the Idaho Stampede last March, and we see more and more of that happening. One-on-one affiliations between D-League teams and NBA teams.
Drummond's checked in for Anthony Tolliver. Here's Drummond, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Goodness, I mean, you come to expect plays like that from him, and folks, That never gets old.
James a screen on Jennings. Exum passes to James. And that comes off the assist by Exum. Exum's got 3 assists now in this one. Well, last year the Jazz acquired the Stampede from the D-League. It makes sense. They'll have a designated place now to develop, Greg, all their young talent.
And Kevin, it's really a key for the Jazz to have those extra minutes available for all those young talents to get an opportunity to get confidence, but also to learn your system. I think more and more NBA teams will follow this route of buying D-League teams.
James outside.
Sticking too much.
And the 3 off target. Pistons leading by 16. Outside Jennings. 44 seconds left to play in the third. And that one's good. Drummond.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
The drive by James. James with another miss. Detroit's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Jennings kicks to Caldwell Pope. They get it back. Baines dishes to Drummond. There's a good screen. And the foul called on Freak. That is his first. Here, Ilyasova, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Morris comes in for Johnson. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Taking a look at the Jazz. Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Then it's Freak, and it's Ingles in at the shooting guard position. The drive by Jackson. Down low, here's Ilyasova. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Jazz have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Detroit with the rebound. Jackson's got his 5th rebound in this one. Meeks passes to Drummond. He feeds it to Jackson. Poked away, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. The Jazz making a switch here. Withy's checked in. Clock at 6. Dinwiddie kicks to Ilyasova. 3-pointer, and he gets it to go.
This guy knows how to get it done. He knows what he's doing out there. A nice job from the 3-point line this half.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Here's Ingles. The Jazz working the ball around now. James, no good.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Again, James missing.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
To stop the drought. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far. And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Well, look, league business clearly doing well. Franchises, values are skyrocketing, and a new TV deal kicking in next season as well. It represents the largest expansion of league revenues in history.
Now Now Jackson. He kicks it to Tolliver. Over to the left wing. Jackson with it. Favors picks him up. It's Jackson with the drive. And the call will be against Jeff Withey. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Detroit. Johnson comes in for Reggie Jackson. And a switcher also for Utah. Lyles checked in. On defense, the Jazz. Dinwiddie's shot is off.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Most of the time, that shot will go down, or the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
Feeds it to Tolliver. The dish to Johnson. Pass to Dinwiddie. Down to 5 on the shot clock. All sorts of time. And James pulls it down.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down. Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Detroit.
Clark, the differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
They made the defense adjust by moving the ball like that, and there was no answer for it.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And a great team effort, but still, what an individual performance for Jackson. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
Shot to stop the drought, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, it's right in Auburn Hills.
I know.
I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
And for the Pistons, a lot of their woes here at home were due to defense. I mean, their 18-23 home record comes from allowing too many good looks for their opponents.
Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Utah. And so he hits both.
And the Pistons, how about starting out 2-13 at home? I mean, they did turn it around afterwards, going 16-10 to finish out the season. At least they seem to be headed in the right direction.
And that comes off the assist by Exum. 26 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Clark, and they can just let the clock run out here.
No argument with that W.
And here is Blake. Passes it to Johnson from downtown, and he gets it to go.
And just a terrific job of taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And Greg, those fans had a hand in the win. I mean, they gave this team a big lift throughout the game. I thought there was great energy in the building.
And that one's good, James.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team, Clark, by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin. They certainly gave their fans plenty to scream and holler about. This place was rocking. It was on fire. And it only got louder as that lead got bigger.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew,
the 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Reggie Jackson. He's not always known to make the big headlines or get a lot of media attention, And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson.
You're always going to have